Hi, I'm Stargate Pioneer.
And I'm Steven Jondrew, and we're from Better Podcasting, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of the individual host.
Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready, because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 570 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. We are recording this live on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. My name is Chris. Don't worry, it's not just me this week, because nobody wants the elusive solo cast show. I've done it before, and it was a train wreck, so I'm not doing it again, because I do not have the ego to be able to say I could pull that off anymore. So I am happy to say that I am joined by the usual band of misfits. We'll start first with Mr. Willie D. Nelson.
Hey!
Hey.
That's all the excitement I got.
That's fair enough. That's all the excitement Willie's got. So we'll just go with that then. And I'll say we are also joined by one Mr. Anthony Bachman.
Good evening.
Are you a vampire?
No. Maybe.
I mean, vampires are cool.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So I'm not going to name any names, but that just reminded me of something that happened last night.
All right.
So I play games with a group of
I'm
people.
scared.
And, let's just say one of them, they're a young person, they're a younger person, and they live in the UK. And I want to punch their parents. I want to just slap a backhand, because it's what they deserve.
Yikes.
This person, the amount of stuff they don't know, it is astounding. They don't know who Dracula is.
That
They don't know who Dracula is.
I'm not sure that's possible.
It's possible.
I mean,
There's other
It's one of
stuff
the most-
I've just been astounded with. Like, how do you not know about this?
it's one of the most
And I
represented
can't-
characters in
This
all
is
of
just another one to add to the list.
Because yeah,
So-
I mean,
I know.
yeah, that's
They've
tough.
heard of
That's like
vampires.
that's like
but they
not
didn't know
knowing
who
who
Dracula
Frankenstein's
was.
monster is. Like that's it's hard to believe.
At this point in time, you can call him Frankenstein. I'm not going to get on you. I don't care. Come on, man. We get it.
I call him Frankie.
Yeah, but I mean,
Ooh, I like
like,
it.
yeah, not knowing who Dracula is, that's tough. There's a character with over 100 movies. There's over 100 movies about Dracula. Not many characters can say that. I don't know if any other single character can say that. Unless you look at like every interpretation of Hamlet.
Here we are.
But yeah, like that's all kinds of crazy for someone to be like, I don't know who Dracula is, and they're like over the age of 8.
Are they seemingly
Never
someone
heard of
whose parents are one of those that like to shield them from everything that they would deem bad?
Oh,
Yeah, I'll
no,
air
they were
quote that.
homeschooled.
Oh, okay. So then you're kind
That's
of
why
at
I
the
want
whims
to
of
backhand them.
Yeah, they
you're
were
kind of
taught
at the
by
whims of
parents.
your parents. That's tough.
Yeah, their teachers
Like,
were morons.
there's so much stuff. There was so much stuff, just like history stuff too. I can't even remember examples exacts because I just tried to forget it. Otherwise, it just makes me angry. that one just happened, and when you said something about the "Are you a vampire?" that it just just clicked in my head. What happened last night? I forgot all about it until you said that. Didn't
That's
know who
funny.
Dracula was.
Do they know who Nandor the Relentless is?
No, that would be hilarious. I've never heard of Dracula, but they're a big fan of Nandor.
What?
He's called that
100%
because
doubt it.
he never relents.
I mean, it makes sense. He's
Mhm.
relentless.
Which means
That he never relents.
so
That's
what
the
is-
gag from the show.
What does it mean to relent?
That sounds like a question for not me. I am not.
That's
your,
fair. So
I'm not
so
your
let me ask
dictionary,
him.
Willie.
Hey Bachman. Hey Bachman,
Yeah.
can you tell me?
What roulette means?
Will you tell me?
To
Yeah.
it's
In this
somewhat similar
in this
to
context.
to relinquish.
So he does not relinquish. Ooh.
No, it doesn't do that
That
either.
is correct. Oppressively constant or
Relinquishlessness.
incessant, similar to persistent, continuing, constant,
Who's
or
constipated?
nonstop.
It's not constipated.
I mean, he's a vampire. How would a vampire get constipated?
It depends on which type of vampire. Some of them have.
They also eat food, don't they? Eat a
Some
lot
don't.
of cheese.
Some
Also
lore
depends on
allows it,
vampires.
but
Yeah.
what we do in the shadows lore does not, because they vomit very quickly upon consuming food.
That's right. They don't get to eat anything, right?
Did not. Oh, wait, I remember that. Yeah,
'Cause
I
the
forgot
bear-
all about that. I remember the dude in the movie, the new one. He went to go eat French fries, and he was like, "Ugh."
And if you watch the show on FX, like way back in season 1, when the Baron was there, portrayed by Doug Jones, because Doug Jones is awesome, he wants to try pizza, and as soon as he takes a bite of pizza, he then just begins vomiting and propelling himself across the screen.
Doug Jones, the modern day Lon Chaney.
Doug Jones is awesome. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the fact that we thought the
Oh,
Baron
yeah,
was
I'm
dead
not
in that
arguing
show.
with that. Spoilers.
As you can tell, everyone, Willie's probably about 3 seconds behind us right
Yeah.
now.
We got a delay again.
Much more probably, yeah. Everything
This is
seems
gonna
in
be
real
fun.
time for me, but I mean, here we are. Very fun.
Very fun.
It's like in Southland Tales when Sean William Scott's looking at his reflection that's delayed slightly.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Hey, that's what he said. That's okay.
I will allow
Not
it. I'll allow
Not
it
I.
because why not?
So that
Why not?
Wow, that's a delay.
It happens.
Mm.
It happens. But with that in mind, we don't want to delay for you guys any longer the news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Welcome to the news of the week. It is that part of the show where we run down what's in our minds some most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the last week or so, and share with you fine folks who are watching us live or listening at a later date. While the segment intro was playing, it looked like one Willie D. Nelson was gesturing that he would like to go first. Or was I misreading said gesture?
It happens. It happens. I'm waiting for you to ask what happens.
What happens, Willie?
News happens.
This is Academy Award winning podcasting here. We're going to win so many podcast A words on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Ass Man Awards? I would take it gladly. Glutiously. I would take it.
Willie's a big fan of Billy Gunn, you see. The Ass
Makes
Man.
Of course.
I mean, come on, man. It was the yeah.
He's the Ass Man who now goes by Daddy Ass. So Willie really enjoys him.
Who really likes scissoring.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that canon.
Willie, scissor me. Come on.
You're supposed to go like this, Willie.
Oh, shoot, like that. Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah.
For those unaware, this was a professional
misunderstood
wrestling
the
reference. Please don't think we were going down into the gutter. It's professional
Unless
wrestling reference.
let's not look at what I did. Let's not explain it. That let's just let it
I was
be.
just going to ignore it and keep going, but now you've brought attention to it.
Of course he did.
So if you're listening
I'm
to the
gonna
audio
drink
version of the
this,
podcast and you're
Baja
curious what Willie did, go check out the video on YouTube and go to about the 10-minute mark. You can see for yourself. And then you can leave a comment making fun of Willie if you wish. This is the
I'm
way.
used to it.
This is the way. All right, Willie, I'm going to toss things over to you. What you got for us this week?
Me? Well, I never left. I'm a bit of a time traveler, you see. Somehow, I am me from the past. I skipped ahead 1 week almost exactly, but like about an hour and a half backwards, or I guess forwards, backwards, and then a week ahead. It's weird. Don't think about it too much. But yeah, because I'm still here talking about Borderlands, the movie. That
Ironically,
that's doing
Ironically,
a
no one
thing
else
at the theaters.
no one else is talking about Borderlands anymore. It's just Willie.
Well.
I mean,
we'll
the
get
people
into that
talking
a
about it
little
aren't
later on.
talking friendly
But
about it.
yeah, but what we do know, what with little news that came out was, hey, guess what? Borderlands is going to be streaming on streaming platforms. Apparently, what month are we in? August? Yeah, August 30th, right? I think, yeah, August 30th.
8 days.
End of the month.
They didn't specify what that means, but I guess they're guesstimating it probably means on like Amazon Prime where you can rent or buy. Probably not streaming for free.
Right.
Probably.
So my guess
They're
is
not
it
that
goes
desperate.
it goes similar to the model we saw during the pandemic, which is it's a relatively new release, so you can rent it for like $20 probably, and then we'll probably another month down the road go on sale for purchase. That's just my guess. I don't know. They might have said differently in some of the press releases, and if they did, feel free to tell me I'm wrong in the comments or go to the Discord channel and let me know. I like getting told I'm wrong.
I also saw another bit of news that about the physical release of the movie. Apparently, it's already on on a sale price on Amazon.
Oh, no.
So the 4K Blu-ray is apparently already discounted on Amazon before it's even released.
Discounted before release. That's pretty harsh. Like that's pretty bad.
While it's still in theaters a week.
Yeah, I mean, Madam Web didn't get hit that hard. And
well,
it got tore up
no one
by the
really
critics.
cared about it.
Yeah, but still,
You
like,
see, at least people care about Borderlands. They're talking about it. They're still talking about it, but no one cared about Madam Web. Oh, Madam Web's a thing? Oh, who cares? No one's talking about it. But all eyes are on this thing. This is a dumpster fire going down the street at high velocity.
The problem is all eyes aren't on it, and that's why it's coming to streaming right now. This is their attempt to try and save face and make a bit of money back, because what was the budget on this film? It was like what, like 150?
high.
Was it 150 or 180 million? I vaguely remember reading, and they made what, like 10 million in the box office? It's been something that's just a very small fraction of what the overall budget cost was for the movie, let alone any of the promotion they did on top of that. Because with the people they cast in that movie, I assume they thought they probably had a hit on their hands. They didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really blame any of the people in it either, except for the hiring of Kevin Hart. It makes no sense. No offense to Kevin Hart. But God, we're back. We're not getting back on that. We're not getting back on that. Everyone else, I'm all right with. Eli Roth, I still like you, man. This isn't going to make me look bad at you. You're a great bear Jew. Is that PC to say?
I mean, that was the name of his character, so yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rude.
It was just one of those ones, like, he is a solid director. He has directed some really good stuff, some really off-the-wall stuff. But when you think of an interpretation of a first-person shooter video game with humor, I don't know if Eli Roth would have been in my top 30 directors that I would have thought of to direct that movie. maybe not even top 50. And like I just
Well,
watched
once again, back to the bear, Drew. He made me laugh.
I mean, but I just watched Thanksgiving. It's enjoyable. It's a great horror film. But I don't Eli Roth doing comedy action. That's Edgar Wright's job. Like, so there's a list of those guys.
So I should caveat here. Have not seen the movie yet, but from what I've been seeing in things, part of the difficulty might have been the script letting things down, and the fact that certain people who may have played the games come with an expectation that Lilith's a siren and can do all sorts of stuff. And my understanding is she's not, or if she is, it's not until near the very end of the movie where you start to see cool powers like that. So I think there might have been I said might, I don't know. So I think part of the problem might have been that people who loved that game, and there are plenty of people that did and still do, didn't really get what they expected, and then it made the rounds and people were like, yeah, no, I don't want to see this.
I mean, I'm it's super interested in seeing it when it comes out. I'm not gonna lie, I do want to see it. I might how big that discount is, I might get the physical version.
I mean, depending on where it's streaming, I've got a bunch of Google Play Store credit from doing surveys. I could easily burn some store credit and probably watch it for pretty cheap. Hey man, Google Play Store credit for doing surveys is the best thing ever. I think I've gotten like over the past 5 years, like $300 worth of store credit.
Yeah, I used to get like free movies and stuff.
I have a question.
It doesn't work on my iPhone anymore though.
Well, that it should never. But anyway, but question: does it ask you a lot? Like, hey, have you been to any of these places? And you look at it and like, I haven't been to any of these places recently. What the hell? Stop asking me about these places I've never been to.
They're close to places they're close to places you did go to.
I know.
Yeah.
I gathered that, but I mean, you see where I park, Google. You have maps. You see it right where I'm in front of. Why are you asking me about a block that way?
Because all GPS is kind of on. It all has a variable window around it.
Well, and you could also park and then walk to some place that isn't right where you parked too, as part of it.
That's fair. But still, come on. I mean, whatever. Sorry about the tangent. I just had that question because it always does it to me. And I'm like, stop doing that.
It's not a bad tangent. We'll allow it.
Thank you.
The pre-order is already up for the Borderlands movie on Amazon. They want $24.99.
That's acceptable. That is acceptable. Wait, for digital only?
For digital only. It is to buy though. It's not to rent.
No,
that is the buy it price. I thought I was going to see that was the rent it price. I was like, damn, y'all are crazy.
Now
they want $25 for that movie.
I'd pay that for physical. That comes with a digital copy too. If it don't, y'all can fuck right off with that. Don't do it physically without the digital with it. That's just me though. But seeing how you're saying that no one's talking about Borderlands, I'm going to say you're a little wrong on that because a little trailer came out earlier for the game Borderlands 4.
I haven't played the third one yet, so I probably need to play that at some point in time.
Yeah. Naki would be ashamed of all of us.
And maybe like half the pre-sequel.
Yeah, that's about where I am. I bought it because it was on sale for like $5 at GameStop or something. I was like, okay, cool. And then they did a free upgrade for the Series X version of the game. So I bought it and installed it and then promptly got distracted with the next shiny thing.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
I'm just really, I just don't think I'm going to ever play any of those games. Mostly because I'm tired of the looter shooter mechanic. I don't care about getting a gun that I'm just going to be throwing away and just getting another one in 2 seconds. Like, I just don't care.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So real quick before we transition topics, we did have a comment coming on the chat, which I believe came from Willie's Twitch channel, where we have a user asking, why did the Fallout TV show do so well amongst the non-gaming audience and Halo and Borderlands do so bad amongst the non-gaming audience?
I think I just saw a little something about
solid writing.
About this. Oh yeah, like some people were complaining about Fallout, about it not being like following the canon exactly, but
So
I didn't hear that before like this week.
Here's what probably helps me in regards to Fallout is I have a very passing knowledge about Fallout and have only played a bit here and there. Whereas Halo and Borderlands, at least from my perspective, I've played a lot more. So it was a lot easier to feel disappointed when something didn't resonate right. But it's a good question, though, amongst the non-gaming audience. What is it that Fallout did better? Is it just that post-apocalyptic is something that clicks better with your, I'll air quote here, regular audience? Is it the genre of like post-apocalyptic, not Wild West, but kind of brand new world kind of thing clicks better than sci-fi looter shooter treasure hunter and sci-fi super soldier? Maybe it's just because the themes are not quite the same. I don't know.
I mean, Borderlands and Fallout aren't that far apart from each other.
Yeah, I've been trying to sit here and just think about like what, like just thinking about just watching the trailers of both and just going on that only, which I have seen neither Borderlands nor Fallout this show. And I'm trying to sit here and think like, what is the difference between like what makes that look good and that not look good? And
I know the answer.
Go ahead.
2 words. Walton Goggins.
There you go. Walton Goggins, yeah. He makes everything better.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
mean, I
Walton
agree.
Goggins in it that's bad. There's
If
nothing.
you haven't watched The Righteous Gemstones, what are you doing with your life there?
Or
bud?
vice principals.
I need to start that again because I started it and got like 2 episodes in and something came up. I need to go back to it.
Yeah, but circling back to the question here, I think maybe it's more that kind of the post-apocalyptic theming kind of is something that is more resonating with people now than Halo and Borderlands have kind of like a sci-fi, more of a sci-fi-ish vibe to them. I don't know. And it's also tough to compare Fallout to a Borderlands movie here because we're talking what they did 8 episodes of Fallout, about an hour a pop, to a 2-hour movie that condenses what, if you had to charitably put it, Borderlands 1 is probably about 10-hour campaign, single player, 10, 12 hour maybe.
Yeah, depending who's playing it, yeah.
Now I feel attacked because I take my time. Fuck y'all.
I do too. I'm generalizing though. Regardless, what I'm saying here is Borderlands suffered from the fact they tried to put a bunch of mythology into a much shorter window or much shorter package, smaller package. And I think Halo to an extent suffered from, and maybe this is again my bias because I'm more familiar with the property, looking at the canon and then being like, we'll just do whatever the F we want and change things up. So like the world of Halo in the TV show is more inspired by the game versus on the game or based off the game, if that makes sense.
That's why Halo failed in my eyes. 100% took the mask off. 100%.
The question is going, specifically to the non-gaming audience. The non-gaming audience didn't know that that's something that never happened in the game. That Master Chief would never take the helmet off. So honestly, I think it comes down to like showrunners and writers. Like it seemed like the showrunner and the writers on Fallout really cared about the show, enjoyed making it, and had fun putting that show together. Nobody seemed to come out of that thing like with a bad taste in their mouth and like kind of mad that they did the show. Where it seems like, some of the people coming out of Halo weren't too happy with the whole process. And a showrunner going, oh no, we never even bothered to read like the Wikipedia of Halo before we made this.
Well, the problem with Halo though too is there's so much mythology between 8 games, a bunch of book tie-ins that are all canon, that I understand why if you're trying to start a show, you don't want to be like, okay, we need to tie this into all the mythology. And I also understand their point of view where they're like, look, a lot of people are going to watch this are not really going to realize how much mythology we're glossing over. And I think to an extent it got overblown by Halo fans being like, oh my God, I can't believe you changed such and such.
Yeah. It's the non-gaming audience doesn't know what's wrong with it unless there's a massive outcry of people going, this isn't what we wanted. This isn't what it was.
Now, if you want to go both sidesism on it, I could also make an argument that if you're kind of just going to willy-nilly pick and choose what you want from all of that mythology, perhaps your lack of I don't know the best way to put this. Your lack of caring for the mythology comes across and how it's portrayed by what you pick and choose and do and how you change things. I don't know. That the Halo show was flawed. I think season 2 was a lot better.
There was a season 2?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Well, Paramount put a lot of money into making all the suits and ships and stuff for season 1, so you got to get that money back by making a season 2, selling some more ads.
Did you get your money back by spending more money that ain't gonna return?
No, because you don't spend more of that money on the production stuff that you've already made for season 1 by reusing it and making a season 2.
Well, and I think because at the end of season 1, people were starting to feel optimistic about how they were seeing the show form up. There was a thought that, hey, season 2, this could be pretty sweet. And I thought season 2 was tonally and thematically a lot closer to what we had in the games, and I enjoyed it a lot more. And I won't say really bummed when it wasn't canceled, but I was kind of like, oh man, I was kind of curious where they're going to go with it next, because after 2 seasons we finally were like, oh, something's going to happen with Halo, the title of the show. Maybe that's part of what is also problematic with it, is they wanted to slow burn to sort of a bunch of world building and the Covenant and the humans and make the Halo be the big boogeyman out there, and we didn't get it until the very end of season 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess going back to Borderlands, why I think to like a non-gamer, like someone who doesn't know a damn thing about it, is probably the look of it. 100% the look of it.
How so?
It looks way too cartoony and bright, but then you look at the humor and it's like it's going dark, and it'll probably throw people off. Like, this looks like for kids, but it's trying to be dark. I'm good on it. If I'm just a non-gamer, know nothing, if I look at it, that might be what I think.
Because Borderlands is very much its own unique thing. It has its own unique vibe.
Either you dig it or you don't. I do dig it, but
we also have a much more discerning movie audience than we would have pre-pandemic. And I'm not meaning this as a slight, but we've seen that less people are going to the theaters now than were then. And less people are willing to be like, oh, I'll go spend my $20 for me and my wife plus snack and all that to go see something that we might just want to see. Whereas before that, it was Movie Pass or the Regal Pass or those other things. People were more bought into them and more willing to take a chance on some of these weirder things. And now there's so much content out there. It's like, oh, well, I don't need to see Borderlands because I've got XYZ to watch on this streaming service still. And maybe whenever this ends up on Netflix, I'll check it out or something like that. And then they hear the reviews and go, oh, well, I'm glad I didn't do it. It kind of becomes a self-reinforcing prophecy there.
Well, and especially now that, post-pandemic, and each of those people have 10 to 12 streaming services. Mm-hmm. So it's not even that they just have Netflix. It's they have 9 streaming services to choose from. Yeah, why would they go out and buy, see a movie that they're not sure they're going to enjoy?
Let's look at the movies that have been out lately. What is it that that puts asses in seats lately? Marvel movie.
No.
What?
Deadpool and Wolverine, for instance.
Yeah,
well,
Marvel
that
movie.
one, yeah. But you want to go back to the Marvels?
There's a different problem with the Marvels, and that's a bunch of the idiot chuds on the internet that decided
you just said Marvel movie, and that's the one that popped in my head.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know why that would come in your head.
Is the most money-making R-rated film of all time. So the last Marvel movie put asses in seats.
Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds put asses in seats
in a Marvel movie.
Okay,
fair enough. I'll give you
fair enough. But what I'm trying to get at though is what puts butts in seats right now. It's
more butts on screen.
Okay, but continuations of franchises that people like, and then things that are, I don't want to sound snooty, but I'll put it this way, the high prestige film that gets real big buzz and a lot of award buzz and things like that.
The Whale?
I was thinking Barbenheimer, that combo and things like that.
I was like Barben, but it's
the combo.
Barbenheimer.
But if you think about it at the time, it was both these things were like, holy crap, everyone's really excited about this one. Oppenheimer in part because it was a Nolan film that was getting a ton of buzz, and then Barbie because representation, and it looked interesting to a lot of people, and it kind of combined into this big thing that brought lots of people in. But the box office isn't predictable. Like, go and look at some of the Disney animated stuff that's come out. Some of it's just missed completely, and some of it's gone in as gangbusters. I don't think they know what clicks right with the audiences to go see things in theaters right now.
But they know certain things will, like the wife put in chat, nostalgia movies, Beetlejuice will put asses in seats.
We hope it will.
Oh, it will.
How will it? Or are we looking at that through our lens of the nostalgia of loving Beetlejuice and watching that when we were younger? Because remember, that movie's what, 30 years old?
You're forgetting
at this point?
the billions of streaming hours that Wednesday got, and you're taking that star and making her the daughter of the mom from Stranger Things. The whole Netflix crowd is going to go see Beetlejuice, even if they didn't see Beetlejuice.
I hope you're right.
Oh, I think I am.
He's probably not 100% right, but he's probably not that far off. I mean, it's not as much as he thinks, but there's going to be a lot of people in that. Like you're like 70%. You got 70%. I'm following behind you. I got behind you 70% there, but there's 30% you're overinflating there. But I'm not gonna lie. If you ask me, man, that trailer looks like it's trying way too hard for the pull on your nostalgia tears. God damn!
It's a 40-year sequel. Yeah, you're gonna go nostalgia.
Jesus Christ! And it feels like it's trying too hard. You know, Tim Burton, come on, pull it back a little, man. Try.
I'm with King Brothers in the chat room. I'm still trying to figure out who all asked for all these live action remakes we're getting.
I will tell you.
Mufasa. Why are we getting Mufasa?
I will tell you. Disney lawyers asked for them to reinvigorate IP. Oh, hey, we can resell a story we already have by just casting voices and doing live action of a movie we've already done a cartoon of. Yeah, they just want to lock down more IP. They're making sure their stuff stays copyrighted to Disney. That's what the live action movies are. There's no other reason for them.
I mean, but you sent this one in our show notes. It's not in our show chat beforehand. I don't think we put it in the show notes. But like, why are we getting Paul Rudd and Jack Black doing an Anaconda remake? Who really asked for that?
I mean, I'm so interested in seeing what the hell that's going to be.
I'm interested because it's Jack Black and Paul Rudd.
Okay, that's fair.
Why are they doing Anaconda? Like,
why not? Well, you know what's going to be awesome though.
Why? Who's like,
what is a better movie? Getting Jack Black to play the John Voight role, or getting Paul Rudd to play the John Voight role?
No. That's you're asking the question. The real question: who's going to be playing Jennifer Lopez? Is it Jack Black or Paul Rudd? That's the real question. Who cares about John Voight?
I don't know.
Angelina Jolie, don't. That's her own goddamn.
I would love to see Jack Black give that speech about snakes. That shit would be hilarious.
I feel. Go ahead.
It's gonna be the snake.
Jack Black's gonna be the snake.
No. Let's think about it. It's gonna be Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Because Ben
Stiller,
Stiller,
it's one of those things again. It's an IP, so they're grabbing a name, and then they're gonna build a movie. The script may not even have anything to do with the movie Anaconda, other than there'll be a snake in it, and it's gonna be in South America. The other 98% of the script can be completely different, and they will just call it Anaconda because they love releasing movies with names of movies from the past.
Okay.
Hollywood loves doing that now.
Here. Was that Ice Cube in Anaconda?
Yep.
Okay. LL Cool J was in Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea, yeah. My hat is like a shark's fin.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I was like, my memory gets a little blurry looking back at it. I was like, wait, which one was it?
Ice Cube and J-Lo fighting a shark. Or fighting a snake.
And I'm not going to lie.
The Punisher and LL fighting a shark.
Wait, Thomas Jane was in Deep Blue Sea?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he's the shark.
I haven't seen Deep Blue Sea in forever, so I can't remember that.
Yeah,
I remember Samuel L. Jackson. I remember that because that was like, oh, that's a thing that happens, I guess. Sure.
It's maybe his best death on film.
But to bring it back, to wrap it up a little bit, for video game stuff going forward, I am something that did also come out at was that Gamescom, Chris?
I think it was. I don't know
whatever
which
it's
one.
called.
I didn't pay a ton of attention. I got an email and said, "Hey, this is going on," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't care about co-streaming this one."
Oh yeah, well, it was also in the middle of the day, and I wasn't even here, so I didn't even know about it until 30 minutes after it started. But then I tuned in. But yeah, they had a trailer for something called Secret Levels. Secret
Hold,
level
wait,
or
wait.
levels?
You don't want to discuss that right now because
You're right.
Because you didn't read the show notes.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you
Since-
fucking didn't.
since
Guess what my
Willie's-
news of the week is?
since Willie's teased it, let's just move to our next news of the week story. Hey, Bachman, you got no clue what's coming. What's coming for your news story?
No clue. You don't know nothing. Well, there was a big bit of hubbub because, a trailer came out for a show called Secret Level that's going to be popping up on Amazon Prime. And a whole lot of the hubbub happened because the Warhammer community has been excitingly waiting for stuff on outside of Warhammer Plus. On Warhammer Plus, there's animated shows, there's videos, there's tutorials, all sorts of stuff. But Warhammer or Games Workshop signed a deal with Amazon, and we've been waiting for, that whole, what we're hoping is going to be, the Henry Cavill Warhammer universe that Amazon Prime is going to make. But in the meantime, they got in part of the Space Marine as part of the Secret Level official teaser trailer that they released, where the characters from Space Marine 2 are going to be one of the episodes of Secret Level. So Chris has got the video up and going. It looks so cool. What was it said here in the thing from the Warhammer community article? Our own Warhammer studio partnered with the talented team at Blur of critically acclaimed Love, Death, and Robots renown to ensure the episodes stay true to the tone and themes of the setting. The result is an animation we're proud to present as a definitive Warhammer story. So it's Titus and the Boys, which are the Space Marines that you play in the Space Marine video game and the upcoming Space Marine 2. See, as they put it, the most anticipated Warhammer computer game of the decade, arriving in less than 3 weeks. But after the game comes out on September 9th, when Secret Level, the anthology, hits Prime on December 10th, you will get to watch an animated version of Titus and the Boys and a bunch of other really cool-looking, crazy-ass video game-inspired short films, basically. So we got another new anthology like Love, Death, and Robots that just looks awesome. And then, I pulled another article from Deadline where they go through the list for the Prime's video animated anthology series. Secret Level reveals full list, 15 episodes, premieres December 10th, will feature sex games as Pac-Man, Dungeons & Dragons, Crossfire, Exodus, Spelunky, and Warhammer 40,000. See, do they have? Oh, here's the list. Okay, so there's an Armored Core episode, which people are thinking. I saw a thing. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed or not, but it looks like it's going to be Keanu Reeves as the character in that. Concord, Crossfire, Dungeons and Dragons, Exodus, Honor of Kings. The one I'm maybe second most excited with, other than the Warhammer, Mega Man, New World Eternum, Pac-Man, something that's just PlayStation in general. One called Sifu, Spelunky, The Outer Worlds, Unreal Tournament, which that could be awesome, and then Warhammer 40,000. So anything that's coming off of the guys that worked on Love, Death, and Robots, that show was so interesting, so well made. I was telling Chris about it in the pre-show, because if you haven't seen it, like just the first episode, Kaiju Combat, and it's some of the best fighting I've ever seen, like in a cinematic, outside of like the Raid films. Like, it's so well done. And then the story is intriguing, the action's awesome, the effects and like the visuals are so cool. And it's like, oh, it's just a fun show. And now we're gonna get something like that, but all based on video games. And so this might be like one of the coolest anthologies ever. And I'm gonna watch it just for the Warhammer 40K Space Marine part. But Mega Man, an animated like CGI cartoon about Mega Man, hell yes.
King Brothers in the chat points out and says, this is the type of show that we all need. Something original from the mind of a 90s nerd, such as myself. It's why, like, Ready Player One, the book got so big that then turned into a movie that got a lot of buzz. Because that was the 80s nostalgia for the book that then got turned into like a 90s and 2000s nostalgia for the TV show, the movie.
And you got to figure for like the animation team, the CGI, the computer programmers, whoever's doing like, whatever type of animation on it, you got to figure most of them are, the people that grew up with this stuff and then they loved it. It's like, oh, they probably had people fighting to like be on the Pac-Man episode, to be on the Mega Man episode, to work on the Dungeons and Dragons episode. Like, and when you have, artists just wanting to work on a project, not for a paycheck, not just, to pay the bills, but because it's something that they loved growing up. There's like 14 Mega Man games. You got 10 animators working on something and they grew up playing Mega Man. Like that's going to come through in the end product. You're going to get a show where you see something that people that love put their love into it. That's how you create art, putting your love into something. And when it comes through, I don't know, maybe that's the difference when it comes down to it. Maybe that's how you get Fallout and not Halo. Is people that love something putting their love into it instead of just making a product to sell. Maybe that's what it really comes down to in the end. But yeah, Secret Level looks like a bunch of people that love some old video games and are, making little love letters to them in an anthology series, and it looks awesome. It's going to be a fun Christmas. I have to keep renewing my Amazon Prime. They keep getting me. Freaking Invincible, The Boys. I started watching Reacher with the wife because we watched the movies, and I'm like, well, the movies are not bad, but how about we watch the good version of Reacher? And so, we finished all of season 1 in like a week.
Nice. It's
a great fucking show. Yeah, that was my news of the week. Secret Level. Thanks, Willie. Set me up.
I mean, it was a good segue. You could have just took it the fuck over, but no. You could have been like, yes, and it's called blah blah, and you could have just ran right into it.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, that's nowhere near as fun as going. Did you read the show notes?
I was Michael Jordan with the layup, and you just fumbled the fuck out of it.
Michael Jordan,
golden.
But Michael Jordan wouldn't have done the layup. He just shot the shot.
Yeah.
Are you telling me he didn't get the most assists in that season?
That's probably Pippen. That was Pippen.
I don't know basketball.
Or Rodman. You're
Just
more
fucking
Rodman.
take it.
So we weren't sure if you're going to pass it or fuck it.
Wow. Wow. Oh.
Hey, Chris, what's your news of the week?
Yeah, there's no way to segue across from that one. But
so, Chris, do you have any news of people fucking basketballs? Apparently,
I don't. But I do actually have a story that this is in one of those topics of, hey, this is a cool story that opens up gaming for more people. And we've talked about similar things before, because I think it was 3-4 years ago when Xbox released their adaptive controller that we probably took as one of our news of the week stories, and was all pretty complimentary about the fact, oh, this is really cool. They're opening up gaming for a lot more people. They made it compatible with a lot of different systems between PC, Xbox, being able to work with other devices. Well, I guess on the 21st, so that would be yesterday as we record this, Microsoft is releasing a new accessibility controller add-on. This is the Xbox Adaptive Joystick that will be coming out early next year for $29.99. I'm on The Verge for verge.com for the story. You can find it in our show notes, bit.ly/ATGN577. But they say in there, the Xbox Adaptive Joystick allows you to operate a controller without having to use both hands, making it ideal for any players who might have difficulty using thumbsticks on existing controllers. All buttons are fully customizable. There are a variety of 3D printable thumbstick toppers to customize the size, heights, and width of the thumbsticks.
Nice.
I will pull up some pictures here in a second to show you guys who are watching the video feed. According to this story, you can connect the adaptive joystick to Microsoft's adaptive controller if you wanted for a full adaptive setup. You can plug it directly into a PC or Xbox as well. It can also be mounted on a camera tripod because it has threads in the bottom so that you could mount it to put it at a height where someone would be able to interact with it if they're mobility challenged. According to Microsoft, they say community feedback played a big role in shaping the hardware. They visited a hospital in Seattle. They boxed some prototypes for feedback sessions, getting feedback on things like grip size, shape, number of buttons, button location, things like that.
Number of buttons? As many as you need for the controller?
They're also releasing the there's another controller coming out. This one coming from 8-Bit Do that is for $59.99. The Lite SE controller that's designed for gamers with limited mobility, with low resistant buttons and Hall effect joysticks, with all the buttons accessible on top of the controller. So I'm going to screen share so you guys can see what I'm talking about on that one.
Yeah, you have your triggers on the face instead of underneath.
This is the new
Oh.
8-bit DOE accessibility controller right here, where all the buttons are on top so that it's easy to get to, so that they have low resistance for pushing. So like right here, you can see the trigger and the bumper buttons are literally buttons on top of that.
And
Which
they look like
this
they're a
will,
little oversized too.
And my understanding is this should connect to the other accessibility tools that are out there. So that's what 8-bit DOE is putting out. This is the joystick that they've created. And I'll go on Microsoft's site here in a second because they're showing people with various disabilities and how they interact with it, so you can get an idea of the flexibility of it.
I'm not gonna lie, that looks exactly like the PlayStation, like the little it looks like the PlayStation Move controller that had the joystick part to it. It's with
I was thinking it looked
almost
kind of
just
like
that.
I was thinking it looked kind of like the plug-in on the bottom of the Wii on the Wiimote.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah, they both kind of look similar to that, yeah.
Let me put this over onto a different tab.
You make something that's supposed to, like fit in the hand like that, they all kind of look the same. There's always so many ways you can just ergonomically to fit into a human hand.
So right now we've also got it up on Microsoft's site where they're talking about just the adaptive joystick. And one of the examples here is how a gentleman who appears to be missing his left arm has kind of got it nestled up in his shoulder so he can use his chin to use the joystick and things like that. And with a new 3D printed thumbstick controller on it. So they put a lot of flexibility into how people can interact with it.
Now, I'm kind of curious, if you have to use it like that, I wonder how hard it is to calibrate which way is like pushing up and left and right like that. I wonder.
I don't know.
For a person. I'm just curious about that.
On this adaptive joystick, there are 6 buttons. There's 2 that are kind of on the front side of the joystick, and then on top of the joystick or on top of the controller itself is where the thumbstick is, and then there's 4 more buttons, and they're just numerically labeled on that one so that when you use the app you can pretty much map, say, A to 1, B to 4, things like that, or whatever input you want, because this will work with PC as well. So in theory you could do it on that route too.
I'm not gonna lie, I just, when I was feeling particularly lazy back playing RPGs, classical JRPGs, I played them one-handed. Just had him one hand, just move the joystick, got into a fight, X, just attack till just grinding away. I'm lazy. I'm just laying on my bed, X. Okay, I'm just grinding away.
Tales of Symphonia on my maybe it was, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was an RPG I had on my GameCube when I was in college. So I would literally just put 2 rubber bands on my controller and go to class, and I would let it go and grind basically. And I'd come back and see how far I'd gotten just doing encounters in the overworld.
Yeah, I remember
they had that on one of the Gran Turismos. It was a way to beat the 24-hour endurance driving challenge because you had to actually play it for 24 hours. So you chose one of the like Baja cars and then put it on the track and just like hook the controllers to go together, and so your car was just constantly turning left, and you would eventually work your way around the track, and you could just let it play for 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, but I agree with what King Brothers mentioned in the chat in regards to the adaptive controller. I like this. Everyone should be able to enjoy gaming, and that's the thing here is it's a tool that they developed that opens doors to people who either weren't able to do so because of their disability or had to do so in ways that were uncomfortable where they couldn't play for a while. And this opens new doors and allows people to enjoy these same things.
Well, yeah, and this puts go ahead.
I was going to say, Microsoft has done this before with the adaptability controller, but I love the fact also that they're adding the aspect of 3D printing attachments. Because then if you have something that's designed to hook into a 3D printed attachment, you're not limiting to them to what 3D printed attachments Microsoft is selling you. They can find any STL file online that fits their disability specifically and probably attach it to the controller. Like, that's awesome.
It'd be a broke item for them. Baroque.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome thing to see. I'm glad we get more things like that. I know that we've seen Sony has put some stuff out for accessibility gameplay in the past couple of years as well. So we're starting to see more and more out there that opens up doors for folks. And I think Nintendo will pretty much just allow Bluetooth controllers to connect. So I think in theory, you could marry up some of these existing accessibility controllers with your Switch, but I just don't know if there's an app or a way on the Switch itself to do button mapping, or if you're just stuck with whatever it assigns those buttons to on the device.
No, I'm not going to lie. This is putting a lot of pressure on Sony because they gave us a promise about 24 years ago. They made us a promise with the PlayStation 9. I don't know if you remember those commercials. He just put something on his head and he was just in the world.
Oh, wasn't
Ready
the
Player
9
One almost?
Wasn't
It
the
was
9 the
PlayStation 9
globe of
Or it
nanites
was-
that you just inhale it? And
It
then you
was
become part
something.
of
I
the
can't remember
machine?
exactly. He just did something. It was just a
Yeah.
I am the game. Like, yeah. I'm Sony. That's some accessibility stuff. Just all I'm waiting for it.
I mean, it's only 4 PlayStations away at this point.
And I'm expecting some greatness there. That
I'm
was your
expecting
turn.
nanites.
And they're rushing out those numbers, so they might want to slow it down for technology because PlayStation 9 ain't like that. I'm calling shenanigans.
We're on PS5 right now. We got
I
a ways
know.
to go.
They're already talking about PS6 coming out in like 2-3 years. Like, what?
I mean, at this pace, by the time the PS9 comes out, we're going to be even older old men.
I mean,
Every day I'm an older
yeah.
old man.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's how time works, Chris.
I know. My concern is I barely have time to play the stuff I want to play now. I can't imagine what it's going to be like by the time the 9th generation PlayStation comes out.
Well, hopefully by the time PlayStation 9 comes out, should none of us be working at that point. We should be, retired playing video games. That's what
The
we should be
singularity
doing.
happened at that point.
On my home version of the Sphere, where my house is just encased in a giant screen, and I'm just laying on a lazy boy looking straight up playing a video game. That's how it should be.
I just want to take a little piece of metal and tap it to the side of my head, and then just whoop, you're in the game.
Listen. The Matrix was just Second Life, but you're forced to play it.
Yeah.
That old MMO Second Life.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Very cool, King Brothers. Love to hear it, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, King Brothers. Hopefully we see you next week, or some of the other live shows the network might see you. Oh. Well, now that we finish up the news of the week, I didn't have anything else to try and sneak in. I've not really been paying much attention to news in general.
No, I avoid the news.
I've just been
It's all
really busy.
bad.
I've just been really busy
All
lately. I don't know. But since we finished up the news, longtime viewers of the show, we move into a segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you folks who are watching live the geeky and nerdy stuff we've been getting into because, hey, you may want to go check it out yourselves. So this is where we will share that info with you all. I guess I'll start things off because my list is relatively short. Been reading some comics I picked up on sale on Comixology, and it still annoys the piss out of me that it's in the Kindle app now instead of a Comixology app. Because then when I pick up my actual Kindle, it's like, here's the books you were reading in my black and white E8 Kindles. Like, here's comics you can read. I'm like, I don't want comics on my Kindle. I only want it in the app where it's in color. And it frustrates me, and it makes me cranky every time I do it, which I guess is just my cross to bear.
The only thing that makes me feel good is that I just hope that the dude that created Comixology, that made like one of the greatest apps in the world ever, made so much damn money off of Bezos when he sold him Comixology.
Yeah.
Like, his grandkids shouldn't have to work for the type of money he probably got for Comixology. So
yeah. But going back to stuff I've been getting into, my wife and I have started a rewatch of What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show, because all of the seasons were on sale for except the most recent, for like $5 a pop on Vudu. And I was like, okay, I'll pick these up because we don't have Hulu right now, so I don't have a way to stream What We Do in the Shadows. So I picked up seasons 1 through 4 for $5 each, and I was like, when 5 goes on sale, I'll pick it up because this final season, or this upcoming season 6, will be the final season of the show. So I just want to have it all because I enjoy it. It's one of my comfort shows at this point in time, similar to like Community, where if I've had a crappy day or something like that, I just want to laugh and have fun. I can toss an episode of that on and I'm generally pretty entertained and I start laughing. And whatever went wrong that day doesn't feel quite as wrong anymore because I got some lulls in. So that fits firmly in that category right now. I do love What We Do in the Shadows.
nice.
That's why I was making
that show is The League.
That's fair.
I just realized how dirty of a title that really is. What do we do in the shadows?
Ooh.
6 seasons in, Willie finally gets the title.
Other stuff I've been getting into, of course, watching my pro wrestling. I pretty much watch Dynamite Live and then Collision, all AEW stuff. I'll generally watch time shifted by about 30 minutes, and then Rampage is like a Saturday morning thing when I'm at the grocery store. I throw it on my phone and listen/watch while I do my grocery shopping. So I'm caught up on that because this Sunday they're in London, England at Wembley Stadium for a pay-per-view, and this is one of my favorite ones of the year because it means I can start watching a pay-per-view at 1 p.m. And by the time it ends, I have a whole evening left to do stuff. Whereas normally it's like, hey, here's our pay-per-view. Pre-show starts at 7. The show ends at like 12:30 in the morning. And oh yeah, it's Sunday when we show this. So you have to go to work, you poor dumb sod. And I'm like, God, so tired. Stayed up too late watching pro wrestling. This time I don't have to do that because I'll just get to eat lunch. Or when I make my lunch, start watching wrestling, and it'll be a good day. It'll be a good day. And the main event is Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson, title versus career. Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be something. Someone's going to win.
Yeah,
I mean,
someone's going to win.
I don't know. Could be a tie. Could be a DQ.
That is true. They have done time limit draws on there before, too.
Never know.
It's true. You never know. That's the major stuff I've been getting into. I've been a bit busy with work, been a bit busy with just keeping on top of things going on in the personal life because adulting is hard. But yeah, that's my stuff. Mr. Willie D. Nelson, what you been getting into, sir?
Oh, let's see here. I went and saw Alien Romulus Monday night. Good movie, worth a watch. There's a tiny plot hole that makes you think. I mean, it can be explained away, I guess, but not comfortably for my taste. I'm still have questions on it, but still a good movie, entertaining. I've also have still been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering. I've made my own, besides my pre-con deck that I bought and have added to. I've made my own deck, my own commander deck. And I tried it out Saturday night, and I have never felt as powerful playing a game of Magic than that game that night. I pretty much was playing an all blue deck, and I was playing a card that let me play for free instances on everyone else's turn, pretty much. And let's just say I also played a card that let me have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. And I was just having my hand size was pretty much half my damn deck in my hand. And I had so many counter spells that when it was anyone else's turns, like I'm playing this. Does this pass, Willie? Like, I don't know. Let me think about that. All right. That's all right. That's all right. I don't feel threatened by that. I'll let that slide.
Shutdown decks are so hard to have fun against.
Well, I got lucky, and I played this one card that pretty much you pay 2 blue and then X, and then you draw X amount. If X is 10 or more, you first shuffle the rest. You shuffle the rest of your your graveyard into your library.
Oh, damn.
And then you draw X amount of cards. And also you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. I made X 12. And then for the rest of the game, I was also had other draw cards in my hand too. That after someone at the end of someone's turn, like, well, since I couldn't counter anything, I'm just gonna cast this for free and draw more cards. So by the end of it, it was I had done some things, and that one
how
lasted,
long was the match?
Yeah, that one lasted about. We didn't actually finish it. Because it got to be about midnight 30. I forget when we started it. This was a commander game with 5 people involved. So
this is you versus 4 other people.
Yeah, and this one, like this was the first time I've tried, like really have competently tried this deck with like in a proper command setting, and it popped off like holy, it popped off. I have never felt this powerful in Magic.
Nice.
And it felt good.
You said you stopped at midnight. What time did you start playing?
I think around 9.
So it was a 3-hour match that led to a like we're all going home and going to bed.
Pretty much. By the end of it, I had got to kill one person because they played a card where it made and they that let pretty much stopped everyone from play. They could call out a subtype, I guess, a card type, and they called out instances, and that's pretty much all I was doing was casting instances on everyone's turn. And by the end of when my turn was last turn, I was like, all right, since I want to play instances and you're stopping me from doing it, and you're at 19 health, I'm going to tap 4 lands and then tap this Rogue's Passage, and I'm going to have this 14/14 creature with double strike attack you, and it's unblockable. So I'm just going to take you out because I want to play instances again, and you're stopping me from doing that.
They blocked you, so you one-shotted them? Damn!
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that. I did not appreciate that. I wanted to play my instances, man.
All right.
I felt good about it. But yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna drop off. And I've been getting heavy into Magic, man. I probably shouldn't. I should need to stop. I just need one card I'm looking for, and it's cheap, but you can't find it. 3-toed toad.
Can we just call you the Magic Man now?
I mean, for more ways than one, I guess. Sure.
Willie the Magic Man, or Magic Man Willie, which works better?
Dealer's choice.
Fair enough, Magic Man.
However you feel fancy in the moment, I ain't gonna argue.
I'm always feeling fancy.
Good to know.
Fancy. All right, Bachman, finish things up for us. What you been getting into?
Well, with all of Willie's talk of Magic, I ended up tossing some money down at the mall and over at my comic book store, and I got a bunch of Lorcana cards, including luckily for me, they had the starter deck, which is like a starter game box. It looks like a board game at their comic shop, and it was $25, where each person starts with a 30 card deck, and then as you play through each match, you add like items the next round, so you get like 6 more cards. You add songs the round after that, you get like 6-7 more cards, and by the end of it, you each have a 66 card deck, which you need 60 as the minimum for Lorcana. And it's basically like Disney took all the good stuff about Magic and then try to make their own version of it. So it's a little more kid friendly. There's no attacking. Nobody loses hit points. There's no like characters can either go on a quest for lore or they can challenge, and challenges where you get your character versus character combat. And then you win the game by earning 20 lore points, not by losing hit points. So nobody dies. So it's, it's very Disneyfied. But yeah, they had the starter deck is like a $25 one to end up getting 2 full decks, which isn't bad. But they had a damaged box at my LCS, so pick that sucker up for $20, $5 off because the box was damaged. It was sealed. Everything inside it was perfectly fine, including the game board, which is the size. But yeah, it was. You get banished, but I mean, there's no real like killing things the way you have killing things in Magic. So it's definitely much more Disneyfied. But yeah, the characters aren't even characters; they're called glimmers. So you use ink to draw a glimmer, which is a version of a character or a cartoon character from Disney. And then if they lose a challenge, they get banished. So yeah, they put the more friendly language in there. But super fun. We ended up playing on the first night we were going through it, because you play the first match with 30 cards, and then second match with items. Third match, you learn about songs. And then the fourth match, they just add, there was something else. Shifts. And then by the fifth match, you have all of your cards and you're just playing with your full deck for the first time. And so we played 5 matches the first night, each match under 30 minutes, and went 2 and 3. So Jana won the first one, the last one. I won the 3 in the middle somehow, which was weird. But yeah, I had a ton of fun with it. I really like it. The artwork's great. One of the things I love is that they have the artist's name on every card, which big ups to Disney. That's super cool. And then, yeah, we ended up at the mall. We had an awesome day out where we went and did an escape room, went and had dinner, picked up some Lorcana cards. And yeah, we hadn't never done an escape room before. We did one together. The 2 easy rooms weren't available, so we ended up doing the intermediate room, which was called the Agency. And we were trying to help James Bond track down a spy. Super
Specifically,
fun.
James Bond.
Well, it was Bond characters were part of the room. So like there was a poker table set up, and the names on the poker table were Bond, Blofeld, Goldfinger, Dr. No, and Silva, I think, which was the man with the golden gun. So it was all Bond characters. So yeah, you're trying to get like track down information about spies and figure out who the double agent was or something like that. Super fun. If we'd have had, I say like 5 more minutes, we would have got out. Jana says we were within a minute. We were damn close. It was one of those ones where it's an escape room that has 3 rooms. So you had to get into the second room, get more clues, and then open the third room to finish the final task. And there was 2 deadbolts, like a vault door on the third room. We had one of them open. We were working on the clue for the second one. Like we were this close. We almost had it. But
yeah, they'll tell you how to finish it in most cases if you fail. So
no, we had missed something, and then the person running the place, when she came in to say, hey, it's been an hour, like you guys didn't get through, it's like, what's the code for this? Because like we just want to see what's on the other side of the door. And then what was on the other side of the door was literally a binary panel of ones. It was toggle switches for 1s and 0s, and there were 1s and 0s in the original room. I'm like, come on, I did that in the Navy for 6 years. If we'd have got to that puzzle, I'd have done that shit in 30 seconds. As soon as I saw toggles, I'd have just run back out to the front room because every drawer you open had a 1 or a 0 in it. I'm like, that's just binary. Yeah, so we so would have had it, but it was super fun. We had a blast, and it was like I think $35 a person, so not cheap, but good way to spend an hour. And yeah, we're looking at going back for her birthday. Her mom wants to go. So I was like, heck yeah, let's take Linda. We'll go have a blast. Other than that, been playing, the only thing I've been playing is No Man's Sky. They got that expedition going with that new update where you're doing bug hunts across the galaxies. They give you a new gun to run around with, which is fun. So you're just shooting a bunch of bugs. And they created these new, like instances where basically you pick up a larva and squish it, and it makes a giant like Starship Troopers bug come out of the ground, and you got to shoot it while it's spawning little bugs at you. So, No Man's Sky just being awesome and giving you more free content. Buy the game once, DLCs apparently forever. Hello Games is awesome. And then doing a little bit of reading. I finally picked up Ian Carmel's T-shirt swim club. Got that one started. I'm about 50 pages in, 2 chapters. And then trying to finish up my Warhammer book that I'm working on. And then, I haven't talked too much about it, but I got a new book to dive into that most people would find either really boring or gross. But I'm working 410s now and having 3-day weekends. So I'm going to start reading the amazing Operations of Wastewater Treatment Plants book. Ooh, it's so fun. How to turn poop into clean water.
Was that a price, or did it say it was £6 worth?
No, 6th edition.
Oh, I thought it said. I was like, is that $6.99 or is that £6?
No, and this is the awesome thing. So 7th edition is what we have at work. They just came out with an 8th edition. One of the guys I work with, and this is like it's a textbook for a college in California. So they charge $200 for this stupid book just because it's a college book, right? So like the 8th edition's coming out, it's brand new, they're $200. The 7th editions that we have copies of at work is like 50, 60, $80 online. One of the guys I work with, he's like, I own the 6th edition. All they changed was the cover. I was like, okay, well, let me go look for that one on eBay. $17, motherfuckers.
Nice.
So it's basically, I'm working at a wastewater treatment plant, so I need to learn some more stuff. It's been going well, and I love my schedule. I love my job. I love having a 3-day weekend every motherfucking weekend. It is awesome. I get to spend a lot more time with my wife, so it's great. And then, other than that, and at work, I got invited to the Fantasy Football League, so I actually dropped a couple bucks, and we bought NFL Plus Premium this weekend. So I got to watch the Denver game in Idaho because it wasn't televised anywhere that I had access to. But the NFL Plus now, the way the app is set up, it's fantastic. You pick the week you want to look at, and if the games have already happened, you go down and select a game. And on almost every game, they had 3 versions. So you could watch a condensed game, which is a 35-minute version of the game with no commercials and all the interstitial stuff cut out. You basically see the live plays and that's it. Or you can watch the entire full game with still the commercials are cut out, but you're watching everything that was televised. And then they had almost every game had already been fully converted into Spanish too. So it was awesome. Like all the week 2 games are up there now. So I finished watching the Denver game. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. I actually got to watch my Broncos. I got to watch my Broncos win a game. You know, I haven't get to see that in a while. So it's preseason, but hell, we're 2-0. I'll take it. I'm happy. And I got a quarterback with a weird ass name, Bo Nix. He sounds like a supervillain. I don't know, but I like it. But yeah, so I got invited at work to join the fantasy football league. It's like, okay, I need to like figure out who's playing football because I didn't watch any football last year. And I actually think at the time when I said, yeah, I'll play fantasy football. It's been a while, but like I used to enjoy that. I was like, I'm not sure I can name a Denver player right now. I maybe needed to watch a couple of games. And so, yeah, actually, like I just got a notification from the NFL Plus app because the Chicago Bears are playing right now. And I can go just hit on the app. I put it on the big TV in the den. I put it on the TV out there. No, I'm prepping for fantasy, Chris. I'll watch any game right now. Anything but the fucking Raiders. Fuck the Raiders.
The Bears.
Yeah, but who were they playing?
I'm a Packers fan. This boils my blood.
Oh, fair enough. See, that's why I can't watch the Raiders because I'm a Denver fan. But yeah, that's what I'm getting into. So I'm looking forward to fantasy football.
Oh yeah. Speaking of football, I saw this on one of the Discords I'm on talking college sports. Between now and 2025, we don't have a single weekend without college football.
Oh, that's a lot of football.
We got a lot of football coming up, gentlemen. Week 0 of college football this weekend, and then next week is week 1. Week 0 because they do like 3 games this week. One of which is a game in Ireland. It's like Florida State and someone playing in Ireland. I don't know why. It made sense sort of when Notre Dame was in Ireland last year to play a game, but I'm not sure how Florida State in Ireland makes sense. But what do I know?
As long as they're having fun, right?
The correct answer is I know nothing.
You know.
See, I know nothing. That's why I got to watch, more preseason. I think it's a week from Saturday is our draft, so I got to learn as much as I can about all these new kids playing football. Because yeah, man, we were watching that Denver game. Me and my wife, we were having dinner. It's like I remember the day when I was older than the players, but it feels weird to look on the screen and think all the players look like children. Like that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Like Bo Nix looks like he could be my grandchild. It's like it makes me feel old as shit. But it was a really fun game, so I enjoyed watching it, and I'm looking forward to watching more football this year.
It's fun. I enjoy it. But on that note, we are going to start shutting things down. A friendly reminder before we do shut the stream down, we do stream this show live every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern over at GonnaGeek.com/live. That is the streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. While you're there, go check out some of the other great shows that are across the board. Real quick, if you want to get in touch with us, easiest way to do so right now, don't use Twitter because we don't use Twitter anymore. But go to the Gonna Geek Discord at GonnaGeek.com/Discord. You can join our server. There is a channel in there specifically to the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. You can let us know what we were wrong about or what you disagree about. And while you're there, feel free to join the rest of the Gonna Geek community talking about a variety of different topics. It's a pretty calm, laid back, and we argue, but never like meanly there. So we have passionate debate, but without it crossing a line. It's a fun place to talk geek with a calm community versus some of the other places out there where you're just like, what the hell's wrong with some of these people? So please,
the internet.
Come join us over at the Gonna Geek Discord. That's GonnaGeek.com/Discord. Gentlemen, before we shut this thing down, do you have any final thoughts for the people?
Yeah, I forgot to show this. I did get a play mat, and it was gifted to me, and it's from a tournament. I don't know anything about the tournament, but I think you guys would appreciate it because it's a Macho Man hold instead of some creamer, some salt.
Ooh, oh yeah, brawl, salty brother, nice.
Yeah, so I thought you guys would appreciate that. This
I love
nice
it.
Play mat I got.
That's pretty good.
A heavy
That's
fan.
pretty good.
As someone with a Macho Man on his water bottle every day, I appreciate it.
I mean, I also have a shirt of regular Macho Man, the cream of the crap.
Damn right.
Hey, man. Macho Man was a good inspiration. You could be macho and still be in touch with your feelings because he said macho men can still cry.
Yeah, he said on the
Macho
Arsenio
men
Hall
feel
show.
all their feelings. Yep.
Macho Man was a good influence.
He was also a great guest on Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah. We got great respect for the Macho Man Randy Savage, not that scab asshole Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, we miss the madness.
Fuck Hulk Hogan. Trying to keep
Yeah,
the wrestlers from unionizing.
And a racist too.
Yeah, a big racist.
Well,
You would think a guy
Big old
never mind.
racist.
Never mind. We'll not dodge down. We'll not go down that path. But yeah, Hulk Hogan sucks. He has for a long time.
No.
Just keep that in mind.
I heard
But,
she was right. Who knew?
Yeah. You
Remember, Hulk Hogan has a big dick, but I'm guessing Terry Bollea does not, because he specifically had to say Hulk Hogan has it. Wasn't he on trial or on
yeah, that was in the Gawker trial.
Hulk Hogan has a big penis. Does that mean you don't? Like what? What does this mean?
I mean, decades worth of steroids probably didn't help anything down there for him. Would be my guess.
Balls. I don't know.
I don't know. Nobody wants to talk about this topic, though. So on that note, we are going to shut down the stream, and we will see you all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Awful Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.